Celebrity hunting season. Doesn't matter what I say, they're gonna get everybody eventually. Like, look, I don't think I did anything wrong, but we'll see. They even got poor Kevin Hart.
Renowned comedian Dave Chapelle has criticized Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey for how he thinks they control Kevin Hart. The 50-year-old apparently thinks that Kevin Hart could do better on his own had he not fallen under the influence of the leading black producers in Hollywood. Kevin and Dave all belong in the same industry, but Dave is miles ahead of Kevin, and many fans believe he's in the best place to instruct Kevin Hart. So, how did it all go down? And how is Kevin Hart taking the advice? Let's get into it. It all started when an old interview of Tyler Perry on Hart to Hart resurfaced on the internet in recent weeks. In the interview, Tyler Perry narrated how he represented blacks in Hollywood when most TV networks wouldn't take on black shows.
There were no black people on television. Before diversity became a thing, Tyler Perry was the only one out there for a long time.
According to the Ace producer and director, many studios relegated black shows to the back burner after the 90s and preferred to show only white shows and movies. The issue escalated when UPN and WB, networks often showing black-produced shows, merged in 2006. Tyler Perry claimed he tried the best that he could to represent black people, but instead of praise, he was always criticized. Though he was panned for his camera work, script writing, and predictable storyline, many critics usually singled out his Madea character for heavy criticism. Some critics called him all sorts of names, including buffoon, and questioned why he always wore a dress. However, the 52-year-old stated that though he heard all the noise and criticisms, he didn't allow it to deter him, as he focused on his goal. And once he had achieved what he wanted to achieve, the same harsh critics came up, shook his hands, and congratulated him on all his achievements. He claimed most of them began questioning how he made it after all the bashing on traditional and social media. Kevin Hart appeared impressed with Tyler Perry's words and nodded his head in agreement. Now, this part is especially important to fans because Kevin Hart seems to have swallowed Tyler Perry's words, hook, line, and sinker. This is because Kevin Hart has suffered criticisms of his own. Many people, including industry colleagues, have claimed he's not funny and can't do stand-up. But the one criticism Kevin Hart appears to share with Tyler Perry is when he wore the dress. Unlike Tyler Perry, Kevin Hart said he'd never wear a dress because he had boundaries and limits that he refused to cross. He claimed that wearing a dress would make him look stupid and that he was a brand and needed to protect his brand at all costs. According to him, several things can happen to diminish a brand, and protecting his brand was his priority. Thus, fans were shocked when Kevin Hart appeared in an SNL sketch wearing a dress.
Oscar nominee, Convention Wallace.
Wow.
For someone who claimed he had a brand to protect, which was his priority to make a sharp U-turn and don a dress, fans expected him to uphold his values. Yet Kevin Hart gave in at the slightest opportunity, and fans couldn't forgive him. As soon as that sketch went live, conspiracy theories started flying around, with the most popular one suggesting that the comedian was now part of the elusive Illuminati. According to the theory, donning the dress was part of an Illuminati humiliation ritual that black actors and comedians had to go through if they wanted money and fame. Tyler Perry was also accused of the same thing after he and his shows became popular due to his Madea character. Fans accused him of selling his soul to the devil, aka joining the Illuminati, which was why his show was the only black show standing when all other black shows had folded. Many believe that Tyler Perry wouldn't have gotten to the heights he has attained if he hadn't bent his knee and will to the demands of the Illuminati, and he taught Kevin Hart to do the same. Kevin Hart responded to all the criticisms and conjecture of joining the Illuminati on his social media page when he wrote, "I wore a dress on SNL because I thought it was funny. I made that decision. Nobody made it for me. I am my own boss." The comment section went gaga with people expressing diverse opinions on Kevin Hart's reply. Some insisted that wearing a dress wasn't his decision and that he was probably forced to. One fan explained, "Everything is a choice, but it wasn't your idea. I could choose to not fight back, but the fight wasn't my idea." Another also wrote, "Damn right you was on the outside looking at the big house, the money, and popularity, but you went inside. So don't make it seem like you can do what you want because you can't. When they ask you to sacrifice someone, I'm pretty sure you don't want to say no." Some fans claim that Tyler Perry made millions from wearing a dress, so Kevin thought it wise to follow suit. One fan wrote, "I would say a grown man wearing a dress is so played out and no one finds it funny. But every time Perry does it, it makes hundreds of millions, so I guess lots of people do find it funny in these guys' defense." Fans pointed out that Dave Chapelle suffered the same temptation when he was presented with $50 million. Though Dave didn't specifically mention that he rejected the money because he was asked to wear a dress, the comedian insisted that he was once presented with such an opportunity. In an old interview with Oprah Winfrey, Dave Chapelle said he was once shooting a movie with Martin Lawrence when the writers devised an idea to put him in a dress. The idea was simple. Martin would try to sneak out of jail by disguising Chapelle as a However, Chapelle expressed his disagreement, claiming that he wasn't comfortable with the idea. The producers kept pressing, trying to get him to buy into their proposal.
All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress.
Chapelle continued that he was already funny and didn't need a dress to make him funnier. However, the producers wouldn't give up and got the director to come and speak with him. At that point, Chapelle got exasperated and exclaimed, "Is it Brokeback Mountain or something?" referring to the 2005 romantic movie. He then asked himself whether it was a thing since almost all the black strong comedians he knew had won a dress, at least once. Chapelle stood his ground and refused to get into the dress, forcing the crew to rewrite the script in about 10 minutes. The comedian couldn't hide his amazement at how fast they could rewrite a scene and suspected they had unsavory motives. According to him, all those happenings, coupled with a few private matters, caused him to reject the $50 million offered him by Comedy Central to continue the third and fourth seasons of The Dave Chapelle Show. Probably, he thought that with the amount of money, Comedy Central was buying his freedom, and before long, they'd make him wear a dress. After all, that was what many producers have done to some of the black comedy greats. Maybe the Illuminati was trying to recruit him into their circle and initiate him to do their bidding. Whatever the reason was, the ace comedian packed his bags and flew to South Africa, where he hid from all the media attention and the people trying to get him to wear a dress. Now, to be clear, Dave Chapelle has won a dress before. In a 1993 Howard Stern spoof, Dave Chapelle dressed as Stern's co-host, Robin Quivers. So Chapelle isn't against wearing a dress, but his stand is against forcing black men to put on a dress, which Hollywood appears to be obsessed with. He believed that black people in Hollywood should have the freedom to choose what roles they want to play, and not be subjected to the whims and caprices of some Hollywood executives. He told Oprah that he had to take a stand against the egregious decision to see black men in a dress. Interestingly, Oprah herself has come in for criticism for allegedly controlling Kevin Hart and trying to make him do her bidding. According to The Grapevine, Oprah has been urging Kevin Hart behind the scenes to strive for greatness, which includes doing whatever it took to get there. Like Tyler Perry, Oprah wouldn't mind Kevin wearing a dress again or doing something crazy to become just like them. Recently, Oprah was bashed by a section of the fans for how she apparently lowballed Taraji P. Henson. In an interview with SiriusXM, the actress broke down in tears, detailing her bitter experience of being paid low despite the amount of work she puts in and her legacy. She complained that anytime she thought she'd broken the payment glass ceiling, she found herself renegotiating her salary as if she just started. "I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired? I hear people go, 'You work a lot.' I have to. The math ain't mathing." Taraji explained that she had bills to pay because she wasn't the only one on the team. "Big bills come with what we do. We don't do this alone. The fact that we're up here, it's a whole entire team behind us. They have to get paid." According to her, about 30% of her earnings goes into paying taxes, and she spends 50% on paying members of her team. Thus, she only has about 20% to spend until the next movie or project comes along. The actress lamented, "It seems every time I do something and break another glass ceiling, when it's time to renegotiate, I'm at the bottom again like I never did what I just did. And I'm just tired," she said while wiping a tear from her eye. She blamed producers for not standing up for black actresses, given their work ethic and dedication to the industry. She insinuated that white actresses get paid better, but when it came to blacks, it was the same excuse of no money. She continued, "And I see what you do for another production, and when it's time for us to go to bat, you don't have any money," she said of how she feels producers haven't shown her support. "They play in your face, and I'm just supposed to smile and grin and bear it and just keep on. Enough is enough." Fans interpreted Henson's words to be an indirect jab at Oprah Winfrey, who was a producer of The Color Purple, a movie starring Henson. One fan wrote, "She hasn't looked happy this entire press tour. I'm not sure people understand how bad this really is." Taraji is incredibly graceful and private. For her to cry like this before the public is heartbreaking and concerning. Some also threatened to boycott Oprah Winfrey if she dared touch Henson. "If they blackball Taraji, we need to boycott all Oprah productions and her affiliated endeavors," wrote one fan. Another opined, "It's about time we are seeing Oprah for who she is. Haven't liked her for years." Meanwhile, Oprah responded to the criticisms, claiming she always supported Taraji on screen and behind the scenes.
Will tell you herself that I've been the greatest champion of this film, championing not only the behind-the-scenes production, but also everything that everybody needed. So
She explained that she wasn't in charge of the budget and, therefore, had no power to decide who should earn what. That was the duty of the studio, Warner Bros. Besides, her salary as a producer was negotiated by her team on her behalf. According to Oprah, her role as a producer was to ensure everyone got what they needed to ensure a smooth production. So, if there was a problem with the catering or the car or any prop, it was her responsibility to get it done. Oprah said that she wanted everybody to rise to the top and would support anybody's endeavor. Many fans also noted that during a promotional appearance of the color purple at the Empire State Building, Taraji and Oprah had what appeared to be an awkward exchange after Taraji's outburst at SiriusXM. Fans sensed tension between the two as they exchanged pleasantries before posing for the paparazzi. However, Oprah rubbished the fans' sentiments, claiming that all the hullabaloo about the tension between her and Taraji is nothing but a figment of imagination. According to the celebrated talk show host, it was cold that night, so she tried to stay warm by keeping to herself, which made her exchange with Taraji a bit awkward. She concluded by reiterating that everything between her and Taraji was cool, and there was no tension whatsoever. However, fans still thought that Oprah could have done more for Taraji by speaking up for her and other Black actresses, as she appears to be doing for Kevin Hart. One of such people is MoNique. According to the comedian, Oprah's claim to support and champion the cause of Black women was a hoodwink. She claimed that Oprah had no one to check her. After all, she was the pinnacle of success for every Black woman, so she could treat any actress anyhow she wanted. MoNique said, "Everything was, didn't I champion for y'all? I was like, stop it. You didn't champion for those Black women, for our sisters." MoNique blasted Oprah. What she did was, "We can treat them like we always treat them. Who gon' check me, boo? I'm Oprah Winfrey," the comedian told The Root. According to her, Oprah should have ensured everything was all right even before the shooting began to avoid all the mishaps. "You know, everything should have been done when you showed up. Now, when you hear our beautiful sisters saying, 'Yeah, but it got fixed,' it's like we're making it worse," she continued. So, when Oprah Winfrey sits at the helm and Taraji P. Henson says, "It's an honor that we were handpicked for this movie," well, if they were handpicked for that movie, those women should have been taken care of from the moment go. This isn't the first time MoNique has slammed Oprah. A few years ago, the 56-year-old comedian blasted Oprah, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels for blackballing her after she refused to participate in a promotional event for the movie Precious. The actress explained that making media appearances wasn't written into her contract, so she didn't see the need to participate. Moreover, she had already accepted to shoot the movie for a low salary of around $50,000, so she had sacrificed enough. According to MoNique, she wasn't ready to sacrifice her family for Hollywood because she wasn't sure what she would get in return. After all, Hollywood producers are hell-bent on paying Black actresses low salaries, so leaving her family to go campaign for a movie was pointless. Her decision not to do the media tour for the movie allegedly led to her blackballing by Tyler Perry and Oprah. Perry and Oprah didn't produce the actual movie, but they later signed on after the movie received rave reviews at the Sundance Festival. Therefore, MoNique was expecting that the two Hollywood giants would pump money into the campaign to make the lives of the actresses easier. According to the comedian, she sat down with Tyler Perry and told him she wouldn't work for free, and Perry understood. They then shook hands and hugged, thinking that Perry would probably pay for her media campaigns only for her to hear reports that she was difficult to work with. She claimed Tyler Perry went as far as bad-mouthing her to David E. Talbert. She explained that she hadn't heard Oprah say anything bad about her, but she was expecting her to support her fight to get paid for her work. Since her refusal to campaign for the movie, MoNique found major movie roles hard to come by. She had offers from smaller and independent studios, but either she didn't like the roles she got or the script wasn't good enough. However, she didn't give up the fight, and despite pressure from all quarters of Hollywood to apologize to Tyler and Oprah, MoNique wouldn't budge. She stood her ground and insisted that whatever she said about those two was true. Later, she claimed she had an audio of Tyler Perry calling to apologize for how he treated her. She also claimed that she played the audio to Kevin Hart and Rev Al Sharpton, with Rev Sharpton asking Perry to contact MoNique and apologize in person. Perry only agreed to render an in-person apology under two conditions: that her husband won't be present, and two, she apologized to him for the blackball claims. However, these two conditions didn't sit down well with MoNique, and she backed out of the conversation altogether. Apparently, Kevin Hart did nothing to lessen MoNique's plight after she played the audio to him. Though she didn't state it, fans believe MoNique played the tape to Hart so she could speak with Tyler Perry and get him to see reason, given the relationship between him and Perry. However, Hart appears to have ignored MoNique's message, leaving her to her fate. Many fans weren't surprised by Hart's actions since it is a widely held belief that Hart was under the control of Tyler Perry and Oprah. However, MoNique wouldn't let that deter deter her, and she continued with her fight for better working conditions for Black women. According to the comedian, she did it because she had to make a stand for all the Black actresses in Hollywood, old, present, and future. She explained that Black actresses have suffered for too long and only had accolades and awards, but their back balances were lean. She continued that Hollywood is known for targeting Black actresses who spoke up for themselves, and once they passed, the industry would make a movie to reap some money from their demise. She said, oftentimes when it comes to a Black woman speaking up and speaking out, it goes unheard until she dies. Then once she dies, then we go back and say, well, she was right, and let's make a movie about it, she explained. See, I can give you their names, Eartha Kitt. I can give you their names, Hazel Scott. I can give you their names, Fannie Lou Hamer. I can give you their names, Hattie McDaniel. All of those women took a stand, and all of those women left here heartbroken, unhealthy, looking at a community saying, y'all know I'm right, but why won't anybody say anything? Fans flocked to social media to applaud MoNique for standing up for Black actresses in Hollywood. They hoped that other Black celebrities in positions of power would take similar stands to support Black actresses. One fan commented, I've supported my hometown sister since day one and through all of the blacklisting she's faced. I'm glad to see so many people are waking up and realizing that she was right all along. Another also wrote, bless her heart. I hope she keeps moving forward, spreading her message with the same grace and compassion she shows in this interview. People are listening, changes are happening. Others were so moved by her words and sacrifices that they wish they too were in power to influence decisions like this fan. We have the wrong people in power if they're blackballing MoNique. She was the first female comedian who would make my stomach hurt from laughing so hard. She is a legend and deserves to continue showing off her craft. I never wanted to be famous, but sometimes I wish I was in a position to help all my people who deserve it. I'm a man who stands his ground and can't be influenced. I wish you the best, MoNique. Some fans praised her acting skills and the awards she received and hoped she'll be back to grace their screens soon. Her Oscar performance was amazing. She is missed by her fans. Her strength, talent, and brutal honesty are a rare commodity in this world. Great talent. Many fans believe that the reason Kevin Hart couldn't do anything when MoNique presented him with the audio of Tyler Perry apologizing to her was because Hart was an industry plant. They believe that Hart got to where he was because he had connections in the industry that projected his fame. One such person who subscribes to this view is veteran comedian Cat Williams. In an appearance on Club Shay Shay, which has since gone viral, Williams claimed that Kevin Hart came out of nowhere and suddenly became popular in the industry. He buttressed his point by saying that Kevin came to LA and, in his first year, had his own show on network TV and his own movie. He called Kevin Hart an industry plant who has never sold out a show or had a standing ovation in his life. He decried the fact that people called him a petty individual just because he's decided to pick apart lies that have been fed to the public for so long. Cat's unprovoked outburst gave credence to the ongoing theory that Tyler Perry and Oprah controlled Kevin Hart. They surmised that Tyler and Oprah planted Kevin Hart to rival other comedians in the industry. The fans suggested that all three were part of the Illuminati, with Perry and Oprah given direct oversight responsibility over Kevin Hart. Hart responded to Williams' jabs by unleashing salvos of his own. He compared Cat Williams to a lion performing in a circus and explained that he wouldn't entertain Williams' unprovoked attacks. During a media tour to promote his new movie Lift, Kevin Hart said, "You don't entertain the circus, you watch it," in reference to Cat Williams. When a lion comes out and rides the bike, you don't think about it too hard. You just go, okay, that's crazy. The lion is riding a bike. And then you go home and enjoy the rest of your day. He continued that he doesn't let that stuff bother him as he's focused on his career and won't let anyone dissuade him. "I don't feed into the stuff at all at the end of the day. It's all entertaining to a certain degree," said the 44-year-old comedian. However, fans have noted that Kevin Hart has been elusive in all his interviews, failing to directly address all the accusations Cat Williams leveled against him. They noted that Hart said nothing about being an industry plant or wearing a dress because he joined the Illuminati. Thus, many have concluded that Cat Williams and, probably, Dave Chappelle's observations could be true. And this brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching.